Clipped, moving on. Banner 3, we got Noctis. Noctis Lock, so 2 Syncs and 3 Awakenings. Same format as the first banner. Well, at least for those 5 relics. Sephiroth Arcane. Alright. Another chain, so we got the first instance of double sync, 3 Awakening, and 1 chain. Sephiroth Fire Awakening. Fire stacking on the Ultra, just like his USB 1 for End Arc. 4 Glim Pluses. Two LMRs. Okay. First up, the syncs have been great on every single banner, and I expect that this one is just the same. And the fact that it's a single element is also great. Not only a single element, but a single element for the Magicite that's going to be released very soon. And all physical. Yeah. Do love it when they align the needs like that. It makes the entire banner better. Alright, Noctis. High Quick Cast 1. I'm guessing he probably gets a form of High Quick Cast in his commands. Yep. Yeah, I did just go over this a couple days ago, right? Yeah, it's an ATB manipulating sync, and which, as long as it's not incompetent at what it does, and it's not, then it's one of the better syncs in the game. While Terra's magical fire, and not everyone has a good Terra. You do want, eventually to defeat both types of six-star Magicite. There one day becomes significant rewards. It is quite a few months away, like 5-6 months, but they do buff them. We may get the buff sooner. Did we get the Odin rewards buff sooner than Japan did? No? Oh, that's too bad. But anyway, we do get more rewards for defeating 6-star Magicite types eventually. I believe, like, plus lenses. Which means hero abilities. Which are scarce. So that's a valuable resource. Oh, and 6-star motes. Record boards, also scarce. So some really good stuff. So you don't want to, completely sleep on stuff that you're strong at. And I guess I'll talk about that more once I get to the end of this banner. To decide whether or not I want to pull on it. Even though that I probably have Shiva dead already with my magic team. So it's a good example. Anyway, Noctis' Synchro is interesting. Because your Phantom Flame level needs to be, at least it says greater than 1. I do want to check that again. I probably checked during the last one too. I just forgot because I have the mind of a sieve. Phantom Flame mode. Increases Phantom Flame mode by 1 when using Tricky Flame. Tricky Flame is the second command. Decreases by 1 when using Glide Flame. Removed if user doesn't have sync mode. Okay. So you start out at 0? Oh, the multiplier on the attack increases if you have a higher Phantom Flame mode. And it may be because there's no symbol for it, but this is incorrect. And I don't remember checking this. You do not need a Phantom Flame level greater than 1. 1 or higher, so equal to or greater than 1. I have to imagine that that symbol exists in the code somewhere that they could have used. Anyway, that's much better. Yeah, I didn't check. It's much better, and it means that his sync probably works best alone, but can be used with the Awakening if you need, because you can get up to 3 stacks of Phantom Flame, and the higher the stacks, the higher the multiplier, which might be useful. It will definitely be useful, because he would have break damage cap 2. So you can use them both, or you can use them apart. I think in most cases you'd probably want to use them apart, because you would use the sync first to get 3 stacks of Endfire, and then after the synchro is done, then you switch to his Awakening. So, you know, say you suffer through a diffusion, you use his Awakening, and then, you know, start using a Samurai ability. So you wouldn't use it like Lightnings. It's a hard question for me to answer, because I've never used Lightnings. Alls I know is that it manipulates ATB, and it's very good. Lightning is forced to alternate. Okay. So she gives herself instant ATB for a turn? No, because then your Phantom Flame level would always be 0. So you would never benefit from instant ATB. So you would want to use the defend commands. Why that works with his Awakening is that it would use the Phantom Flame commands, the defend command, give him 2 stacks of Phantom Flame. Then you would have 2 turns of instant ATB. His hero ability would definitely help a lot. By the way, his hero ability is... It's either available right now or will be available in the festival. I think it's available right now. Three attacks grants instant cast 1 to the user. So that would help a lot if you don't have any external quick cast. And even if you did have external quick cast, you would need a lot. Because since he gets rid of his ATB, he would attack so much faster than, you know, he would take so many more turns than the rest of your team. It would be hard to keep his quick cast up. So if you're using like a healer, for instance, even Aerith with 3 turns of physical high quick cast, that's still going to get eaten up. So his hero ability is actually really important to his sync. Because it would help you cover turns where you're not getting it from other places. Anyway, extremely powerful fire physical. Next, Locksync. Typical stuff so far. 6-hit command multiplier increases with defend uses. Well, is the defend command any good? 3 times fire non-elemental attack and defense minus 50%. Oh, so each time you use it, it grows. Attack and defense minus 50%, which is a pretty good debuff. That's basically a party damage buff. And then 10% fire and peril. Honestly, would be fine to use alone. Probably use defend command twice, or use with awakening and use defend command once. Because I would imagine that it would progress through these twice in the same turn if you're using as awakening. And then you could just 6-hit, 6-hit, 6-hit. But it works just fine by itself, too. I mean, depending on how much damage Locke is doing, you may not even need the multiplier increase. So you could just use the 6-hitter. And he gets a hero ability. What is it? Yeah, I'm going to check that now, Andrew. Oh, yeah, it's the Mug Bloodlust. Well, yeah, that's an attack and defense debuff, but is it... Is it unique? I don't... If it's... Because that's also an attack and defense. I don't think they'd stack. Yeah, it's probably not worth the sapphires. Even if they did stack. Because it's not like... honing hero abilities is not an issue. Just buying them, that's the... You pay all the cost up front. It would be awkward. Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna look more into it. They don't stack. It's the same debuff. That is so strange. Okay, well, Locke Sync is fine, because Locke is a good character. Not as powerful as Noctis, but there isn't much that can stand up to the ATB manipulation syncs. Anyway, Sephiroth, fire character, who does in fact have a way to end fire. On animal lenses, spammable, and it's only 250 soul break points. It is one of his uniques. So this may be a, quote, new element for Sephiroth, but he can actually use it competently. Crit chance 100%. What is Evil Blade mode? He gets 3 overflow chases on the first 3 turns. Isn't that really powerful? Yeah, it's much better than 1 every 3 turns, because that's 2 every 6 turns. And it can be hard to get that 6th turn sometimes. But hell, let's just give him 300,000 extra damage. Which is a lot more than most characters do with their awakenings. And let's front load it. Which is one of the benefits to like Gladio and Anacros, is their benefits happen very early on in the awakening. Alright, well, Sephiroth's awakening is very good. It's much better than average fire awakening. All 3 of the characters I've looked at so far are good characters in their element, without the need for any switch draw crap. Balthier, also very good. Now let's take a look at his awakening. Fire awakening, high quick cast. Just straight up high quick cast, not high quick cast 1. That's kind of neat. What's Scorching Bullet? Chase 2 fire with a 6? That's just good. That's just a good awakening. Okay. Wait a second. Scorching Bullet follow-up is a machinist ability, so it can proc his Imperil from his Legend Materia 2. Balthier's Awakening is very good. Sabin. Unsoku mode. Crit chance 100%, quick cast, chase 3 monk with 6 single target chase and self physical blink 3. Mode ends if physical blink does. He starts with physical blink 3. It seems fine. The idea that a boss can shave off 3 physical blink stacks, Shiva can shave off 3 physical blink stacks before Sabin takes 3 turns, I don't see it happening. So he'll be able to re-up his physical blink well before the mode ends. The problem with Ida is it didn't work that well back then. And not only does, he get the physical blink 3, but he also gets quick cast. On top of any quick cast that you add to him. This is so much better. So, another good Fire Awakening. Though I would say that Sephiroth and Balthier's are better, because Sabin still only gets a damage boost of 100% crit rate, which your mileage may vary, and 2 6-hit chases. which I would say don't add up to what Sephiroth and Balthier bring, but it's still good. If this is the low end of your Awakenings, it's easily better than both of the other banners, that's for sure. Sephiroth Arcane, Balthier Chain, Generation 3 Chain for Balthier. Sephiroth Ultra. 10 single target. Sephiroth does a soul break that hits less than 15 times. What the hell is this? Comes with stacking and fire. Crit damage 50% and instant cast 1. It's just a good Ultra. It's exactly what you're looking for in an Ultra. His Awakening even gives you 50% crit chance. There is no trade-off. They're just better. Oh, no, there is a trade-off. It's only a 99 chain instead of a 150. But the fire damage plus 20% is immediately added. So you don't have to wait until, you know, you're like 12 seconds into the chain to start benefiting from like a 120 hit chain. And that makes a difference? Not much of a difference. I would take the fire damage plus 20% and instant cast any day over Generation 2. Alright, we have 4 Glim Pluses to take a look at. Alright, this is loopy. Instant one-time single fire non-elemental overflow. Does more damage the less soul break points you have. Self and fire stacking, 0 soul break cost. No. Instant cast, and then the effects. Party, attack 50%. The chain itself is instant cast. Which can be an issue for Magic and physical teams that rely on Allegro Con Moto and stuff like Aerith and Iris, because chains aren't affected by physical high quick cast or a magical high quick cast. So anyway, I like Noctis's Glint. I don't see why I wouldn't. It just gets a free overflow attack. Instead of like instant cast 1 that other people get on a Glint like this. Sure, I think that's a good trade-off. Sephiroth, instant cast, self 3, 0 soul break point cost. Eh. You can probably do something for you, Hugh, yeah. If you start with End Fire and then use the Glint. Right, it doesn't have stacking. It's just instant cast 3. On a character with a high quick cast trance mode already. Not really feeling it. It's the Glint Plus he gets on next festival that really explodes onto the scene. Balthier, instant 6 single target, and fire stacking. Obviously good. Sabin, same thing, obviously good. Well, not same thing, but it's very similar effects. It's just, you know, stacking and an extra effect. I'll usually take the instant 6 over instant cast 1, but still they're fine. Start battle with Fire Noctis, sure. And dual cast Samurai, probably pretty important for Sephiroth. There aren't many bad things on this banner. What glint was I just raving about? Sephiroth Glint 2. It's in the next festival. None of these glints are worth raving about. 3 of them are good. 1 of them is... Glint plus 2. Did I say just Glint 2? Yeah, I meant Glint plus 2. Sephiroth gets this exact Glint plus, except it's in Dark instead. But it happens to work very, very well with Sephiroth's kit. Okay, so this entire banner is very good. Very, very powerful. If you have doubts about Shiva, this is probably... It's going to be hard to match this. It's got everything. And it doesn't mess around with the line. It doesn't go physical and magical. So you can, you know, pull 2 powerful things that they just happen to be for different teams, so you actually don't end up with a good team after all. No, everything on this banner is physical. So if you pull 2 powerful things, you probably have Shiva dead. Makes it an excellent place to spend Mithril if your needs align with it. Love it. I like the fact that all 5 of the headliners are very powerful Fire Awakenings. So they're all going to be competent versus Shiva. Where in the other 2 banners, you know, a lot of the stuff had conditions applied to it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I said I was going to talk about that once I got to the end here. Because I do have a very powerful fire team, but I also have a pretty decent fire magical team, but I also have a pretty decent fire physical team. And the team happens to have nothing to do with this banner. So I would, if I were to get things off of this banner, they'd just be replacing the good stuff I already have. So the upgrade wouldn't, I don't think it's worth me spending Mithril on it. Despite the fact that I really love the banner. Depends on the situation, Strider. In Noctis's case, for instance, since he has so few sources of End Fire, I would prefer a 5-star Glint rather than 6-star. But a character that has, like, any spammable soul break that can give them an N element, I'd be fine with the 6-star version. I'd prefer the 6-star version. I have 3 physical fire awakenings, Vincent, Bartz, and Auron. Would I like to replace Bart's? Absolutely. Do I think I need to? Probably not. I was happy to get rid of Bart's off the water team, and I would feel the same way for fire team. I guess, honestly, thinking of it that way, Yuffie was enough to get rid of Awakening Bart's off my water team. Maybe Balthier with just USB 1, you know, refreshing his end element with his USB 1 and imperiling the boss would replace Bart's enough. Let Auron and Vincent do work. Yeah, Auron's a maniac. I wish he didn't have 120 speed, but everything else about him is very strong. So how does everyone else feel about this banner? It's been talked about for a while. This is actually the first time I've taken a look at it. Because I think I saw either the first banner or the first two banners, and I just I lost the motivation to even take a look at this festival. I don't like the festival, and have heard many times that this fire banner is very powerful. But I always knew that my fire was better than most, so I wasn't all that interested. So it's surprising-ish. The only banner I'm considering is probably going to be a lot of people's 5th anniversary, unfortunately. Vincent Bruce. Yeah, even Balthier's chain would be good because I don't have a Generation 2 physical chain. And while, Vincent's great, I would not mind at all turning Vincent into pure DPS rather than someone who has to chain in DPS. I don't mind chain in DPS. I think a lot of people have an aversion to it for some reason, but that doesn't mean I don't prefer keeping them separate. Alright, I'm gonna clip it, and then we'll get on to Banner 4.